Step into the room, everyone, because the tea is hot, spilling fast. It seems like Common has found himself in serious trouble after learning. It's a hard lesson about his relationship with Jennifer Hudson. And let's just say, situation is anything but ordinary. From the very beginning, this romance had people raising their eyebrows. Not because love isn't beautiful, but because something about it felt unusual. The pairing itself surprised fans. The vibe, the timing, the energy, it all felt slightly off. And when you mix two powerful personalities in the spotlight, things are rarely simple. Jennifer Hudson is not someone to underestimate. She's strong, accomplished, and no stranger to adversity. And if there's one thing we know about her, it's this: she does not tolerate disrespect. When Jennifer and Common finally made their relationship public, it seemed like a fairy tale in motion. Red carpet appearances, affectionate interviews, subtle glances that hinted at something deeper. It all looked picture perfect. They spoke highly of one another. Common praised Jennifer's beauty, intelligence, faith, and talent. He even said he had set his standards high, joking that any woman he dated needed to have won an Oscar and have her own talk show. And Jennifer, she checked every box to the public. Seemed like he had finally found his match. But here's the thing about Common: history tends to repeat itself. Before Jennifer, there were several high-profile relationships. Serena Williams, Rika, each one started strong. And yet, none of them lasted. Erykah Badu once hinted at infidelity during their time together. Tiffany Haddish openly expressed heartbreak after their split. Even though Common often speaks about growth and self-reflection, a pattern began to form in the eyes of many observers. Difficulty with long-term commitment. To his credit, Common has publicly discussed personal development. He's spoken about therapy, accountability, and even seeking advice from influential figures, including Michelle Obama. He has expressed a desire to be better, to break cycles, to become the kind of man capable of sustaining a healthy relationship. But wanting change and actually changing are two very different things. As Jennifer and Common's romance blossomed publicly, whispers began circulating behind the scenes. Subtle hints that perhaps not everything was as perfect as it seemed. And Jennifer, having experienced heartbreak before, was not about to ignore red flags. Let's not forget her very public and painful breakup with David Otunga. That relationship ended in a storm of accusations and legal disputes. Allegations of manipulation and emotional distress made headlines. It was messy, it was draining, and it left scars. Jennifer knows what it feels like to love deeply and then watch things unravel. She knows the cost of ignoring warning signs. So when rumors started surfacing about Common possibly entertaining distractions, her alarm bells likely started ringing immediately. Because here's the reality: Jennifer Hudson has worked too hard and endured too much to become just another chapter in someone's romantic history. Love can make people hopeful. It can make them patient. It can even make them overlook inconsistencies. But love does not erase intuition. And as much as Jennifer may have wanted to believe that Common had evolved beyond his past behaviors, she also knew she couldn't ignore. He had a woman who embodied everything he claimed to want: successful, grounded, spiritually aligned, accomplished. On the other hand, he had unresolved habits that had followed him from relationship to relationship. Old patterns are comfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. And when pressure mounts, people often fall back into what they know. If there was, indeed, wandering behavior, it wouldn't be the first time. But this time felt different, because Jennifer Hudson is not someone who quietly tolerates betrayal. Reports suggest that once she sensed something wasn't right, she wasted no time creating distance, no dramatic public meltdown, no messy social media exchange. Just decisive action. Jennifer appears to be a woman who values peace over chaos. But even in strength, there is heartbreak. Because when you open your heart, especially after past trauma, you're taking a risk. And when that risk doesn't, fans analyze body language from past interviews. Every like, every comment, Every appearance becomes evidence in the court of public perception. Yet behind all the speculation are two human beings navigating complicated emotions under a microscope. As the dust settles, the spotlight shifts from gossip to something deeper. Resilience. Jennifer Hudson has always demonstrated strength in the face of adversity. She has survived personal tragedy, career challenges, public scrutiny, and painful relationships. And through it all, she has rebuilt herself with grace. So when uncertainty entered her romance with Common, she wasn't stepping into it blindly still. After all, people do evolve. Growth is real. Transformation is possible. But transformation requires consistency, not just promises. For Common, this moment represents more than just a relationship challenge. It represents a test of character. Is he truly ready for the kind of partnership he speaks about in interviews? Is he prepared to break cycles instead of repeating them? Can he move beyond the charm and into accountability? Those questions are not easy to answer because confronting your own temptation is constant. Attention is abundant. Opportunities for distraction are endless. But maturity is measured by restraint. Jennifer, aware of her worth, appears unwilling to compromise her standards. She's not interested in being anyone's lesson. She's not auditioning for loyalty, not negotiating her peace. And that's powerful at the same time. Love is rarely black and white. Emotions linger. Conversations happen behind closed doors. Apologies may be offered. Explanations may be given. And sometimes, two people genuinely try to rebuild what cracked under pressure. The world watches, waiting to see what happens next. Will they reconcile? Will Common step fully into growth? Will Jennifer decide that love is worth another attempt? Or will this chapter quietly close? In relationships, especially high-profile ones, perception often overshadows reality. What we see is curated. What we hear is filtered. The real conversations, the tears, the vulnerability, those remain private. What is public, however, is Jennifer's consistent message. She values faith, integrity, and emotional security, and that's not unreasonable. In fact, it's necessary. As for Common, this may be a defining moment, not just romantically, but personally, because sometimes losing something meaningful forces reflection in ways that comfort never could. Growth doesn't happen in applause. It happens in silence, in accountability, in changed behavior, and whether or not this relationship survives. Both individuals walk away with lessons. For Jennifer, perhaps the lesson is reaffirmation, that she can trust her instincts, that she can love fully without losing herself, that strength and softness can coexist. For Common, perhaps the lesson is deeper, that words about growth must be matched with actions, that reputation follows patterns, and that real love requires discipline. As fans speculate and headlines circulate, one truth remains. Matters of the heart are fragile. And in a world where betrayal is common and trust is rare, proceeding with caution isn't weakness, it's wisdom. So what happens next? Only time will reveal the answer. But if there's one thing we've learned from this unfolding story, it's this. Love may conquer many things, but it cannot survive without trust. And trust, once shaken, demands more than promises. It demands proof.